feet. You can just move over.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Just go right forward then.
Oh boy.
Your room. When you get a chance, you'll notice behind the black stairs are 4 torpedoes, 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. There are also 12 racks. Racks is a Navy term for bunk beds. The men who slept in them had a hot bunk, which is also a Navy term for sleeping in shifts and turns. We also have in this room a head. Head is a Navy term for a toilet. A lot of the food was stored in there, like potatoes and onions. After they were cooked and eaten, then it was used for serviceable purposes. Men also had, the Navy men had a Navy shower, which consisted of a 2-minute shower every 2 days. And a lot of the men also showered and laundered their clothes at the same time. Okay, so you feel free to take pictures here. We'll be going on to our next room.
So now you're gonna do that.
As you come in, move to the green platform.
No, but watch before you look.
You guys can just move behind the gray machinery.
Il y a tout le temps quelqu'un dedans. Parce qu'il travaille par quart en enfant.
Excuse us. Pardon me. Excuse me. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, right now we're in the navigation compartment of the Growler. If you notice behind, you'll see the gray machinery is called SINS console. SINS stands for Ship's Inertial Navigation System. This compartment and this machinery basically just plotted the course of the submarine. We also have this machinery is called the power on indicators, and it just measured the voltage for the first 3 rooms of the Growler. Okay? We'll be going on to our next room. Watch your head because it becomes a lot narrower.
Pensa tá aqui no meio da guerra.
Watch your hair.
They have a jam in there.
Is that everybody?
They're still back there taking pictures.
Well, right now we're in the Missile Checkout and Launch Center. This is the 3rd room of the Growler. 35 years ago, even if you're a part of the 88-man or 115-man crew, you wouldn't know what the use of this compartment was for. Only the top 3 elite men of the Navy on that crew would know what it was for, because they had to come up with top secret strategies just in case they had to launch a missile to an intended target. They would come up with about 4 strategies for the 2 months on end that they were here, and they would give it to the captain. This is the very room where they came up with their strategies. Those are the 3 original chairs, and their responsibility was to know how to make the missile launch and function properly, and once it was outside of the submarine, make sure that it was guided to a second control base or to its intended target. Okay, as we go along this submarine hatchet, You will notice that these are the 9 higher-ranking officers' crew's quarters. That is where they ate and drank and entertained themselves. Also, the bunk beds that are there, since they were high-ranking officers, they did not have to hot bunk, so they would sleep there for their shift to sleep. Okay? Just watch your head while we're going through a hatchet. All the way inside. Well, you can all the way inside so you can insert the machine.
Stuff in there. Is that another group?
Tem pra me filmar?
Well, I've seen these in the movies.
This is the general periscope. It's in its stored edition. It featured binocular and nocturnal vision underwater. This is also the attack periscope. Here, if you look through the lens, you'll notice that there are cross-like hairs, much like the ones in a rifle. Because of those cross-like hairs, it was nearly impossible to miss its intended target. It was very accurate in noticing the bearing range and speed of the intended target. We also have what is called the ballast control panel. Because of the red and green indicator lights, it was nicknamed the Christmas tree panel, and it made the sailors at that time feel much at home. We also have 3 steering wheels, which in the Navy are called helms. The men who sat in them are called helmsmen. The 2 helmsmen to my left-hand side were responsible of surfacing and submerging the submarine. The helmsmen to my right-hand side positioned it left and right. We also have the main gyro compass, which was basically the captain's instruction repeater. At any time where he would ask the helmsman to move the ship, it would be basically repeated here in this main gyro compass. Each crew member was trained to read it. Also, we have the firing panel. Although the submarine never did see open water combat, they did do a lot of missile patrolling and missile practices. So by the press of a button, they will launch the missiles on this firing panel. Okay. As we go along through here, you'll notice 2 other rooms, which are the sonar and the radio room. Basically, they just interpreted and analyzed sounds under the ocean, and it enabled them to see better underwater during the nighttime. So you can just notice the sonar room on the left-hand side and the radio room on the right-hand side.
C'est la centrale à gaz. Ce qui donne l'équilibre du bateau.
Voilà, c'est des petits animaux.
Voilà. C'est le principe du... Comment ça s'appelle? La toupie.
Ah ouais.
Je t'expliquerai. Tu te rappelles pas? La cité des sciences. Point de vue qui fait tourner, puis la science qui fait tourner. C'est très dur. Tout est tourné, tout a de malheur. C'est basé là-dessus.
Eat now.
As you come in, feel free to have a seat. See, this is where the men had their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They dined, entertained, and lounged here. If you notice here, we have the original tables with the original board games printed on them, and they used to play these using magnets. The shelves here were their library system. They borrowed and returned books using those two shelves. They had a TV set. They also had a coffee and tea maker, and they also had an ice cream maker. Right below here on this red panel was the main storage compartment for the food. 1/3 of the food was stored there. After the heads were used up and there was a surplus of food, then they would can their food up, put cardboard and tape on top of them, and they'll be walking along this panel on their future meals. Also, when you pass along the galley, which is a Navy for a kitchen, chefs and 7 attendants prepared 264 meals a day and 88 desserts. Not everyone got a dessert, but they were only allowed to make 88 desserts a day. Also, this is the original and only entrance and exit to the Growler. For museum purposes, where you guys will enter it and will exit it was just added on because not everyone can go up and down these stairs today. Okay, we'll be going along through a green passageway where you'll see a lot of racks or bunk beds, and a lot of the men who slept there did have to hop bunk there also.
Tá boa a bateria aí? Boa a bateria? Thank you. Não, pra dormir? Uau. Nossa, os caras, porra, meu. Olha que filme aqui.